What I'd like to do is to hear from the Republicans to find out what it is that they would like to see happen. And what I'm committing to is making sure that I am open to working with them on the issues where they think that there's going to be cooperation.
All right, there's the President of the United States earlier today. Joining us right now is, once again, I'm happy to say, Rachel Campos-Duffy, and she's the national spokesperson for the Libre Initiative. Hey, Rachel, good to talk to you again.
Thanks. Nice talking to you, too.
All right, I know you didn't view the press conference, but I'll tell you what he said. Okay. He was asked about, Mitch McConnell earlier today said that if the president, signs an executive order on immigration, as he has threatened to do, it'll be a poke in the eye, it'll be a red flag, etc. Earlier today, I heard those kinds of comments from Candy Crowley on CNN, from Chuck Todd on NBC. It'll be like throwing a bomb on the floor of the Senate. And the president said today he's going to do it. And if Republicans in the House and Senate don't like the executive order, they could then pass legislation next year. And if it meets his standards, he'll sign it. So he's going ahead with this. What's your take on that?
They're absolutely right. It's like throwing a bomb in there. And again, it proves that Obama has never been about caring about the Hispanic community or caring about the things that they want to have done. What he cares about is politics. And again, this isn't about good policy. Good policy is bringing people to the table, trying to find a common sense solution. I think when we were on the show last time, I think I mentioned to you that 70% of Hispanic Americans believe that border security is important, and maybe those numbers are higher now that they know about ISIS. Of course they care about the border. They live on the border. They don't want to have criminals, or certainly not terrorists, come through. So the roadblock, which was border security, I think is actually something that in the last 6 months has become pretty acceptable for part of the compromise, even more so than before. And so coming to the table is the right thing to do. If he passes an executive order, this is something that can be undone later. What they need is certainty. What they need is an agreement that everybody comes to the table, puts their thoughts and ideas there. They hash it out. Should be in the people's house, not in the White House where these things are hashed out. And I think that in the end, people are going to be a lot happier in the long run with less hard feelings. And no demographic wants to be used as a political football.
Absolutely not. And before we get to the broader aspect of the midterm results, I just want to point out that the statistics I have, the Republicans did 8 points better with Latinos this time around than they did in 2012. Is that something you expected? I mean, the number's up to 35 from 27. Not good enough, but do you believe it's headed in a direction that will maintain that rise?
Absolutely. First of all, over the last year, no demographic has soured more on Obama than Hispanics. They have dropped over the last year support for him by 25%, more than any other demographic. I think what you find with Hispanics is that they act and vote more like independents, where they look at the individual candidate and what is that person going to do to help me. And I think in this case, again, immigration is important to Hispanics, but it ranks number 4 in their concerns. The economy, healthcare, education, all rank higher. And I think what you're seeing here, this movement away from Obama towards candidates and ideas that encompass those other 4 elements, more important. Again, the economic policies of lowering taxes and regulation could not be more important to Hispanics. They start businesses at 3 times the rate of the average American. So the Republicans would be, and the conservatives would be very smart to emphasize those ideas and to not, we don't need to be, I can't, the word's not coming to me right now, but what we need is somebody who can present ideas, present policies, talk about economic freedom, talk about upward mobility, pandered to, that's the word I wanted. We don't need to be pandered to.
There you go. And
go ahead.
I'm sorry, Richard, I just want to point out a couple of things. First of all, that your husband won his 3rd term.
Thank you.
correct?
Yes, he did. Yeah, handily. A 50-50
Sean
district that
Duffy,
he just
yeah.
won by 60%. Yes.
That's great. That is great. And also, I just want to point out also, as in closing here, that the Hispanics, but Hispanic candidates, female candidates, even we replaced Eric Cantor with the lone Jewish Republican in the House. It's going to be Lee Zeldin, who we just spoke to in the previous hour from New York's first CD. So the tent is widening, right, Rachel?
It sure is. And don't forget about Scott Walker in Wisconsin. I think that was the most important election in the country yesterday.
That was a big one. And Chris, a lot of big ones. Hey, great talking to you again. Thank you very much.
You got it.
Bye-bye. Rachel Campos-Duffy, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back with Fred Barnes. Don't go away.